Donald Trump, Kamala Harris going at two vastly different approaches to America's housing crisis. On the line right now is Eason Maykus. Eason is a third-generation home builder based in Texas. His company specializes in building affordable luxury homes.
Ooh, good combo.
So here we go. And what will this presidential election mean to his company? Easton, good morning, or Eason, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning to you. Thanks for having me.
So, what do you think? What will be better for your company and home building in Texas?
That's an interesting question, and I will give you the best answer I can.
Okay.
I believe Kamala's policy that's discussing starting 3 million new homes is a great talking point. I think Trump is typically known as, deregulation, but at the same time, in these urban areas, the infill development process, and we're a developer and a home builder, so we get to see that vertically integrated process all the way through.
Yeah.
To me, both candidates and both policies should be focused on the deregulation. And I'm not saying deregulation and less oversight, less quality, but there's so many third-party processes involved in the development and the home building industry. It should give local municipalities, state, and even federal agencies the cover they need if somebody was to not do the right thing.
Right.
I think Kamala offering the option of 3 million new housing units is great, but I think it's done at the expense of a whole bunch of extra regulation, a whole bunch of extra layers of government being involved.
Red tape.
Exactly. And that slows us down, especially when you're a small company like myself. On Trump's end, I think what he should focus on is what's left, having the zoning restrictions, the local municipalities working with state and federal agencies, allowing more housing units to be built, maybe in the suburbia, which is now integrated into the concentric circles of these urban centers. And that doesn't mean go build a multifamily apartment building by a neighborhood that's adjacent to, a piece of land at the moment.
Sure.
It's just some way to allow a streamlined process to where the development and the creation of a lot to be built on for a new home used to be a 6-month process. Then building a home used to be a 6-month process. Now the development process, from acquisition of dirt to the entitlement through your local municipality to the construction to platting of a lot, that's an 18-month to 2.5-year process.
Wow.
Then the building of a home, depending on the product type, is anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half. And so you have created this long lifeline to create one new unit of housing that used to be able to be done in about a year to 18 months period of time. You've taken that and stretched it out to 36 months, if not longer. And that's where the housing shortage starts. It's really just the regulation that has trickled down over time. And what people don't understand is they hear inflation. They hear commodities, lumber, concrete, the insulation that goes in houses. They hear that cost has gone up. Well, as a matter of fact, it is going up, but at a more normal pace. The inflation has kind of subsided in the building industry. And what has happened is that's kind of leveled off and it's going up at a more normal rate. But 15% of every new housing unit created is tied up in regulatory costs.
Wow.
So it's not just the time, it's also the permitting, the platting fees, the impact fees, the park fees, the water fees, all the fees.
I got to tell you, I don't think you have any idea what red tape is until you come to New York. Here, we are the red tape.
Come build a house in New York there, Eason.
I do have to say, we were having so we had construction built, and they were putting a deck that went up probably about 20 feet in the air, 15 feet in the air. And they were putting a deck on, and they were using, would it be 6x6 is the posts, I believe. And in New York, because of our frost zone, we had to, the requirement was, from the town, was you had to go 4 feet deep into the ground and then you could put it in and put your Quikrete in or concrete or whatever. And
Sure.
and the what do you call the codes guy? The codes officer didn't trust the contractor, so he said, "You dig it out, make sure it's 4 feet, and do not put anything in till I get there. I want to measure before you put the concrete in." Now, on one hand, I feel like that's slowing us down. On the other hand, I do think the contractor might have cut corners. So, what you don't want is your deck collapsing.
Yeah, no.
But in New York, we are and really it's different from town and municipality to municipality.
Yeah.
Here, it's not so much like one size fits all. But you go to New York, I can only imagine the city what it's like to build.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine it. But I also think that's something that Trump should be admired for, because he's navigated those processes in New York, and I can't imagine doing it in Texas. I hope we're not drifting towards the regulatory nature of those areas, but it sure seems like it. And it's just an example of, if you give an inch, you give a mile over time. And that's what's seemingly going on here. And we've typically been the affordable area, and I imagine our housing is a lot more affordable than up in New York, but still it's pretty eye-opening and shocking when we're quoting price per square foot for a new house for a family right now. It's just numbers and prices that we didn't think we would see in Texas and Dallas-Fort Worth ever in my lifetime.
Wow. All right, interesting stuff. We do appreciate your time there, Eason. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right. Good luck with your construction.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.